And it is another week and another fast intro. We just have a lot to talk about. As always, I am Sleepy Witch, joined by,
DJ Azure, the 2.5D here,
and
TalkTuber.
we are Half Henshin, here to talk about this week's episode, which includes the Boon Boonger finale.
Yeah. Oh man. But I'm going to say it right now. Yeah, it is definitely one of the all timers for me. Like, oh my god, I love this ending, and yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. But before that, we have to talk about Gav.
We do. Dude, I'm so happy that I wasn't just reading into it, and that Vlam knew that wasn't Shoma because the Gav was different.
It's like you were right about it. Yeah, it's
But it feels like so obvious, but it's such a nice, clever bit of writing that they did where it's like, well, yeah, they're aliens, or well, they're a different species. They recognize each other by like different markers. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
It's the same
Yeah.
like funny bit where like Chopper can't tell a lot of humans apart together in one piece because it's like, well, he's a reindeer. He can't tell human faces apart that way.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we get some really good moments this episode. Like we get a couple of answers like yeah, like Shoma wasn't able to make Gochizo because he was like, just like it was getting all jammed up because of his mood and like, oh man. But hey, we have a macaron.
The macaron is cool. I'm looking forward to that. I was wondering what was gonna happen. I I him the fact again, this is just like the jokes I saw that like bro was sad about his boyfriend leaving him and so he was having like a miscarriage. Some of them were really funny, and the fact that also I loved his uncle's fucking human disguise. It was so funny.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was basically just a hat.
yeah, and like a jacket, like a big jacket and stuff. I love that. I
Yeah.
love when they try to put clothes on the monster suits. You know, as we've talked
Look,
about with the Sand Cedars.
yeah, I was just about to say the Sand Cedars because we love our silly
Those
little
those were our
outfits.
boys, but we'll
Yeah.
get to them in a second. Uh,
yeah. Like I said, this episode's gonna be a lot of us just really wanting to get to it, but there's so much that also happened in Gav. Like we were saying last week, pretty much normally when the new show's about to appear, there's normally a lull in the middle of the show. No, Gav said, nah,
and to be
we're
fair,
still going full force.
I prefer it just still going full force. I don't like them having to like, oh, we need to kneecap ourselves a little bit because like the other show needs to be excited. Nah, dude, this was awesome. Oh my god, dude, I love Sachika so much.
Yes.
The
Okay, so
setup
like
of Hanto telling her and then him showing up and be like, he hasn't been here, right? And her just kicking him out.
mhm.
And I don't know if you noticed, people putting it out on Twitter later, where it was like her T-shirt says like appearances can be deceiving or something like that. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh my god, blatantly thematic T-shirts.
Yeah. Yeah, appearances are deceptive. Yeah, like but I mean like no, this like we had a really good Sachika moment in this episode or just Sachika moments. Like pretty much like someone like talked about how her actress was saying that she basically like is basically like Shoma's mom, and that really shows in this episode. Like
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
so sweet. Like yeah,
Also, I
and
do
Sachika
love
means
that the
sweet.
people are immediately like Sachika, girl whose name means sweet, and it's like Lakia boy whose name means bitter.
Yeah.
Immediately, and I'm just like, oh god. Uh, but
Oh man.
oh man, I loved her this episode. I loved her calling him and still believing in him and being like, "Hey, there's a guy who's impersonating you, and like also, if there's something you need to tell me, I'll be ready to listen whenever." That was so wholesome, especially
No,
because like
yeah,
her
not
yelling
not
at
just that.
Hanto, being like, "He wasn't ready to tell me, fuck you."
Yeah, and not only that, like she even says, "I'll be here when you come home." So it's like it is his home. He has a home now.
Oh, it's so cute. It makes me want to cry, and it's so
I
sweet.
know, right?
And especially because like it takes on that second meeting where it's like, oh yeah, because she calls him sweetie because Umasha is like a pun on sweet or whatever.
Hmm.
So now it's like, oh, it's like sweetie, like your mom calling you sweetie.
Yeah,
Uh, I love
and
her
then
nicknames. She's so cute.
yeah,
But
but
yeah,
then like, we had, like, that good moment, and then, right after that, like, he makes up with Hanto. He makes up with his boyfriend immediately.
Oh
And
my
like,
god. And I'm glad that, like, first of all, we gotta start off from like, let's go back to the beginning if we're gonna talk about Hanto. Vlam showing up and helping him, and then
yeah.
him just being like, "Why are you helping me?" And he's like, "Why don't you fucking think about it?" You
Yeah,
fucking dumb fuck.
exactly. and then and then not only that, like, saying, like, what happened to you saying you were gonna kill all the granites? You know that's gonna include him, right?
And he's just like,
Lame.
uh. And I love, there's that. I fucking love him just like he never explains to Hanto that how he realized that that wasn't Shoma. He just goes like, "That's not Shoma." It's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, just whatever. It's not Shoma. Bye.
Yeah, exactly. And then, they make up, and it's like, he did think about it. It's like, wait, you showed up here, and then, like, he apologizes, like, it's like I kept things from you.
And I do love the immediate like, I'm half human. I told him everything. I fucking love the image of like him showing off his gab and fucking Hanto's eyes like bulging out of his head, dude. That man is acting. Holy shit.
Yeah. Man.
Such a cool setup, such a good vibe. I like them talking about it, and I love that Hanto is so self-aware that he's like, yeah, of course you didn't want to tell me. I was fucking going, we should fucking kill every Granny every 5 seconds, every conversation we had. Of course you weren't gonna tell me.
Yeah, that was like it's amazing how good that was. Yeah, it's like just absolutely believed him, and then, said, hey, yeah, this like, it's like, I understand why you couldn't do it. Like, it's like what else can the show throw at us that's like, just making it just a good story. Like, it
And
doesn't
now,
always need to be action packed. It's like, just like,
and then we get the bitter gav fight. I was not expecting for him to go Shadow the Hedgehog. I am the ultimate life form. That was crazy. Oh yeah, wait. The setup before this, Ram goes to confront Suga, and the fact that they make it so obvious that Suga did this by the fact that he's cleaning up all this food that we saw him eating earlier,
yeah,
and he's still just like, no. I'm just, I don't know anything. My relationship with the Grandroots is one sided. My current feeling as it stands right now is that like I feel like Suga is gonna be like the final boss.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I love his bit of like, I'm just, Granoots humans, I'm on whoever's side is helping me at the time. I love that kind of vibe in like a villain or like morally dubious person. And I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being one of those things where like at the end, the stomachs end up only being experiments for Suga. And he ends up like, obviously they're still bad guys. They're still to be taken out, but they'd end up not even being the like final boss because it ends up being some kind of fucked up shit that he creates.
Yeah, I mean, and not only that, I mean, he was the one that came up with the human disguises as well too for them. So yeah,
or at least
like,
he helped once he had the info from Yelp or whatever. Oh man, but yeah, we got the bitter gav fight. Not much to say other than it was fun. I liked seeing him be Donut again.
Yep.
Donut is just a funny form. I love that like the donuts are used for like restraints and bouncing. I love sometimes kind of like the weird meta ways they use their power, like using the little bouncy like effects to fly and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And not only that, I mean, like the cool thing about it too is that we actually get to see oh man, what do we call it? Choco Gummy. Yeah, we actually get to see the Choco Gummy team ups and stuff like that. It's great.
And we got to see the cake donut because we did like a cream filled donut attack.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, but the way this episode ends, oh my god.
First of all, I saw some stuff on like the pre-production side that like he did that stunt himself. They had him on a wire and everything.
Yeah.
The Gav actor.
Oh man, I'm trying to remember like if it was which other actor it was that also was like hanging from a crane. I think it was 01, and it's like a really really funny image of him just like just looking dejected on a crane. But yeah,
I wouldn't know. But yeah, the explosion leading into him falling off like a bridge or something, and Honda having to catch him. First of all, fantastic way like the relationship is mended because I'm helping you, literally.
Yeah.
But then the like we are getting flashbacks because I'm seeing like the water and it's like triggering my memories to come back, and it's the memories of Hanto's mom.
Yeah.
And them like trying to escape and someone getting fucking spiced, but we're not sure because it's so hard to see.
Yeah. So like what is it? Like I think everyone's saying that like yeah, Shoma saw Hanto's mom get turned into spice, which is fucked up.
And the thing that I like that really is like the culmination of their character development together is the fact that the episode ends with him telling him that he remembered this.
Yeah.
Because every other time when something's happened, he's kind of kept it hidden, but this time he's like, Hanto, I think I saw your mom when I was a stomach ink. And we just end on that. Hanto's face like, what?
Yeah, it's insane.
Next episode
man.
preview, Bitter Gav 2.
Yeah.
I think I've saw some stuff on Twitter where people are talking about how there's going to be multiple Bitter Gavs and they're all going to have like different personalities. Because this one does seem to be a very different kind of guy.
Yeah, and this is a Valentine's themed episode. Gotta love Valen. Yeah.
Yeah, Valentine's. We're getting like, because this is the Bitter Choco, I think is what they showed off, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna see the Bitter Choco. Suga is still, oh my god, dude. There's always something so fun about like knowing that someone's a bad guy when like the characters don't know yet.
Yeah.
There's this manga I've been reading, and it's about to get an anime, so I won't say the name or give any spoilers. But like they set up like a bad guy at the beginning. Main character goes on his quest. He, joins a group, and he fights these guys, and you're like, oh well, those guys obviously know who that bad guy from the first chapter is. And then later you find out, no, the bad guy's been part of the good guys team from the whole start. And he's been watching, and you're just like, oh god. Every time they have a conversation, you're just like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And that's how I feel with Suga every time I see them talk to him. Where I'm just Suga, like, man. Something terrible's about to happen. And especially if people's theories that like these aren't just like clones, but it's like people who are basically being taken over by Shoma's genetics. So these are other people that are fucking being taken out like this.
Oh damn. Yeah, that is.
On the bright side, I mean, Chinan is getting to act his heart out.
Oh,
because he gets to play so many kinds of different little guys.
Yeah, he just seems to be having so much fun. Like, I mean, like we see it in the TikToks and all that stuff. Like, yeah, we all love it.
Oh my god, I'm gonna miss the Boon Boonja TikToks. Yeah. They released like a 10-minute one that was like, here's all like the memories, and it was a compilation of like all the pictures, the dances, and everything, and like, oh my god, it made me want to cry.
Yeah. I mean, and talk, well, I mean, and not only that, like like they also did the superhero show. And like, oh man, actually, let's talk about the superhero show for a bit, because while we're still on Gab, the fact that Hondo's actor like says NTR, and
oh
like
my god,
everyone freaks out.
And immediately stage. Didn't we have the guy be like, I was silver for a different show or something?
Yeah, he's like he did Shiny, and like it's so funny as a way to distract, but like it's so funny because like they're discussing about how like it's like, oh yeah, that punch was real. Like it's like the director felt like he felt like he walked in on an affair.
Oh my god. Yeah, seeing the clips from that, real good, real funny. Glad the actors are living it up.
Yeah.
With that, we had the special anniversary conference.
Oh my god. Okay, I wasn't like, I mean, I should have expected it because we did see like the Gojujers have a human press with them in one of the images, but
right.
Like I was not expecting Decade and Legend to be in this. It was kind of funny.
It was a bit. I do like how they also mentioned that like Revice was an anniversary season, because I hear people talk about how it gets overlooked a little bit as an anniversary. I just love the bit of these guys are all arguing over this shit.
Yeah, like is Gojuger an anniversary season, like, and why are you number 50? Like, it's like you're the 49th, right? And it's like, no, we're going by years this time. And then like like there's so many good moments in this.
I love that they paste a 46 on fucking Gokai or Zenkaiger's head.
Yeah, exactly.
And it just stays on the rest of the conference, so when you see him later, he's still wearing the 46.
Wait, I forgot. Did you actually finish Zenkaiger, or did you?
I
Like,
never watched
watch
Kaiju now.
Oh
So
man,
it's really funny seeing this super energetic guy when the only Kaito I know is the like
Is
really
Kaito
depressed
Black?
one. Yeah, the
Yeah.
relaxed one from Don
From Don
Brothers.
Brothers. Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah, it's like I had to bring it up because it's so funny
yeah,
how
him just going
like
full power.
yeah, Zen yeah, Zenyu Zenkai. It's so
It's
funny.
good. I
And
really like his voice actor. Very energetic.
and then of course like bringing up all the superhero war stuff
Superhero
with
war versus Writers war versus like we did this first versus you guys didn't do it well
yeah,
enough.
and like and like Deku and Gokaiger are just looking at each other like, want to finish this? like they're just so serious about it. It's so
And then I
good.
love how it'd be like, Go Kaiser's a lame name. You're just adding the thing, and it's like, well, isn't decade just literally 10 years? Let's not talk about this anymore.
Yeah, and no, and after that messes up sitting on the desk.
Yep. Don't try this at home, kids. My favorite bit though is at the end where Gozu Wolf's leaving. Like, I don't, whatever. I'm a loner, and everyone starts being like, "Well, I totally get that. It's like pirates are loners by nature." And then Legend's like, "I don't even have a real season." They're like, "Wait, what?"
Yep, and then after that, and also like it's like, oh yeah, also didn't Two Kaiser steal your gimmick too? And it's basically something for someone that has like watched all these seasons, but it is
Even with only the
funny.
context that I have, it was really funny.
Yeah.
It was a good bit. I enjoyed it,
and
and
they
it
become
leads
the
back into the
anniversary
trailer, which is
Sentai.
still really cool.
Yeah, and then become the anniversary Sentai, and it's so funny.
The
It's like,
anniversary
yes,
is like quintet.
yes, oh yeah, it's so good.
It honestly was just a
Oh,
funny
man.
setup. But with
Yeah.
that, our final thing to talk about this week. Oh my
The
god!
final lap. Oh man.
Final lap.
Okay, obviously man, like, okay, so so let's talk about the two things that were the biggest downsides of this episode. Unfortunately Shirabe was just holding out
Oh my
the
god! I
changer.
wish she would have transformed. It would have just been so clean.
Yeah, but she just uses it to like show off like the
The
footage
data
of-
that I guess
yeah.
Chashiro and stuff stole.
Yeah, and then I'll admit the fight was very quick.
Yeah, I think the fight was more like vibes based than anything. It wasn't like we had to go super in depth. But I mean, like, it was kind of because they set it up. They destroyed the gasoline tank. They destroyed Grant's.
Oh, also I called it. He was this reserve gasoline tank. I fucking called it last week.
You did know this. His final advice. Okay, yeah, but oh my god, yeah, they destroyed him. He was their final gasoline tank, and then it's the 1v1. Obviously Bundario coming to save them at the last moment. So cool. So sick.
Mhm.
And
they're all beat up too. Like,
oh my god.
And of course, them being beat up means that I got what I finally wanted for
Yep.
so long.
We
for
got
so many,
the helmetless roll call, baby.
Yeah. And yeah, I love helmetless roll calls so much. They just, but the funny thing too is that like we got so many helmetless roll calls. Like they were for like focus episodes. Like I think Joe got the first one, I think, and then even Mira got one. Like we got a few helmetless roll calls.
But we never got one for like the team, I think, right?
Yeah, and they normally do that for the ending. But yeah, I just love seeing them.
And it is cool because it's like the one time that because a lot of the times the roll calls are being acted by like the suit actors. So this is the one time the like main actor gets to be in the suit for the roll call,
Yeah, and
so I know I would enjoy it.
Yep, and then they also get to put on the jackets too, which is great. And also, Bundario and Bundario and Bun Diesel getting their own Fast and Furious titles too.
Ooh,
Hell yeah,
very good, very cool.
Yep. Mhm.
Great vibes overall.
Yeah. Like that full roll call was just so good. And then
it was the setup for it too, when like it's basically Chashiro who takes out Grant's like dual wielding his and Taya's weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool, very good vibes.
Yeah, and then and like also like similar to like the champion jackets. Even without the champion jackets, everyone basically just gives Bundario and Taya a pat on the back, like essentially dyeing them with their colors to basically give them power, and it's great.
Yep. And it's like the world was giving them power from all the kids and all the people cheering.
Yeah.
Also, we didn't even talk about, dude, the Sand Seeders show up to broadcast the fight.
Yeah, exactly. Our boys are like, I love the boys so much.
They're so good. The setup, the
Yeah.
kids being like, that's our power. That's what we did that. I thought that was cute. That was very wholesome. And
Yeah.
then just setting it up to like, we're going to get like the final champion drive. And whew,
Yeah. And yeah, like sure it was simple. Sure it was like a simple just charge in. But, it was just
I
it was
will
so
say
good.
the one thing I miss a little bit, because I don't think we've had this in a little bit, is like
Mhm.
a finisher where all their weapons combine into one.
Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah, we
Uh,
haven't gotten
I
a,
miss that.
a big cannon finisher. But hey, at least we got that with Red Ranger Another World, which I realized we should have talked about. Oh, it doesn't matter.
We'll talk
Okay.
about that next week. We're gonna
Yeah.
leave that for
Yeah.
we'll leave that for when we're not talking about the finale of a show.
Yeah.
It's just kind of how it is with a show we kind of got
Yeah.
into like halfway or a little bit later. But
Mm.
oh my god, yeah. And then I love the vibe of like, well, we're gonna kill you. We're not gonna kill you. We're gonna let you see the world we create. And then like,
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, I read it as like that man chose to die out of pettiness.
Yeah, exactly.
Like fuck you,
Yeah,
keeping
no,
me
like
alive.
yeah, they basically did the One Piece Luffy thing, where it's like saying, I'm just gonna beat you so that you get to see us win.
And they were like, and he was like, you know what? Nah, fuck you. And he just puts on the
Yeah.
hat and dies.
Like fuck you guys. Everything's just gonna return back to how it was before. And then I almost called this ending. We did get a few months later.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do love that even after everything, Mira's still just working one of her many part-time jobs.
Mhm. Yeah, and Sakato's staying on Earth this time.
Oh yeah, and it's
And-
like it's cool that he's staying to protect people because it's like he's already experienced space, but also like he's grown to like not hate Earth. At the beginning, one of what's
Yeah.
things was like kind of like, oh, I don't care about this planet, so you guys can do whatever. Like, who cares? And it's him staying back to protect the children so that we can make sure so that they can keep going and that there's someone protecting people. Like, that's cute, that's wholesome. And he's
Yep.
being like, Bundi, you should go. You've wanted to race with Bundario your whole life,
Mhm.
or you wanted to race
And-
with him again forever.
Yeah. And then also talking about cute moments, yeah, when the Sand Seeders just get to just like said, we should have just been our own bosses. And not only that, they have so many silly little outfits around them.
Oh my god, they take like the whole fits. They have the whole closet. They're leaving. I love
Yeah.
their vibes. I hope we get to see them in some sort of anniversary project or something
Dude,
down the line.
please.
I would watch a whole
Please.
little Sandseeder movie about what they're up to later.
Exactly.
In 10
it's
years, we get the like Sandseeders 10 years later.
dude, if we did, oh my god, I would love that.
Oh my god. That would
Yep.
that would actually be amazing.
Yep. And then, Shirabe gets to be, head of the ISA, and her friend, was supposedly forced to have done all that stuff.
I mean, she was like a spy the whole time. She was helping, Shirabe. That was the one thing where like writing wise, I was kind of like, I mean, this is okay. That actress plays evil so well though.
Yeah.
Like every time she was on screen before this, I was like, oh my god, like this is like final boss energy, honestly. This lady is so menacing and like cold and like honestly, like I loved it. She did that so well that honestly it's a little disappointing turning out that she was like a double agent helping Shirabe.
Yeah.
Then she was like, quite an actress, aren't I? And I'm like, honestly, yeah. Insane.
Yeah.
Insane, honestly. I
yeah.
love that she's the new ISS agent, and she got the big hug from Bundario. And I love the bit is that like when it like zooms out and you see other people like reacting, you hear Bundario being like, "Oh, you're squeezing me too hard.
Yeah.
She's too strong."
Yeah, and after that, we get to see like kind of like non-ranger, non-ranger like just racing fits for everyone too, and
Oh, we finally had to see
Man.
them in the racing fits, and people were talking about how like I saw people like we got so many pictures of them in these outfits only for it to be in like the last like 2 minutes of the ending.
yeah, but oh man, it looks so good. It's like I wish I could pull off one of those. Like
Oh, yeah.
unfortunately they're a little like I would love to wear one of those.
I gotta look
But-
into maybe it's time I get back into cosplay. I see like making some cheap versions of them,
Mm.
that might be a thing for later. But they look great. They look fantastic. It's such a good vibe.
Yep.
And then we get the first round of the BBE with the first racer from the Boongers. This was my only disappointment, that the quote unquote first racer for the Boongers is Taya and not Mira.
But I mean, it makes sense. But it
It makes sense because he's the red and he's like the main guy. But like we've been building her up as like their driver, quote unquote. Like I think they should have just been like Mira. Also, I will say personally, I really like the vibes of the hand down. I'm kind of sad there wasn't a car in it.
Yeah, just a little bit. But yeah, like no, but yeah, let's talk about this handoff. This handoff wasn't a like a physical touch handoff. No, it was a you're in my sights. I'm next.
Yep, and I love the like walks past him, only barely looks at him. The guy, and he, Taya gives him kind of like a nod as he moves on, like, yep, you're next. And then we get the like howling, the woof howl.
Yeah.
I've seen all the memes where it's like the like on all levels, but physical, I am a wolf. For those
Yeah.
of
Oh man, yeah. But yeah, so okay, so I forgot which full seasons of Sentai have you actually watched, or has it only just been since Dawn Bros?
It's mainly been since Dawn Bros. I'm a couple episodes into Go Kaiger, but that's kind of been it.
Okay, so I mean, obviously, okay, so as we keep joking around, let's just toss Dawn Bros out to the side because that is just its own fucking thing. So
It's doing something else, that's for sure.
yeah, so King Oger and Boon Boon for you. So which one do you like better?
Personally, probably Boon Boongers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I really like the whole bit with King Ogers, and I like it a lot, again, because, like, my favorite Power Ranger seasons were the ones where we weren't just doing the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
People keep going back to Mighty Morphing, but I feel like when the shows really started to get, like, good was in space, when we were finally like, hey, look, we're just doing something else now,
Yeah.
Or Lost Galaxy, where we're dealing with a completely setting that's, like, kind of alien from Earth, and it's like, that's really cool. So I really like that about King Oger. But I also feel like King Oger was, and again, these are both series that I think are good. So this is only in comparison to each other. But I will say that I feel like some of the lows from King Oger, from some of like the weird episodes, it felt like they were just kind of like, ooh, why was this here? It didn't feel like that in Boon Boonger because it had a little bit more of an episodic feel. So when we were having like a funny episode where just something funny is happening going on, it doesn't like take me out of it. But whenever we were like, we're like 4 episodes from the final boss, we're gonna have the King Ogers turn into babies. But it's like they're adult actors acting as babies, and it just feels weird. And I'm just like, I don't like that episode.
Yeah.
I like the episode where they actually got turned into kids a little bit ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Also,
especially
because of the bit with tofu children being gigantic. But also, it's like, okay, you did that joke once, and I think it's funny kind of seeing the kid actors playing the characters. I think that's fine. We didn't have to do it again.
Yeah. And
in such a weird way. I hated seeing, like, what was it, like, oh god, was it like Gira and someone else who were like sitting on someone's lap, like being read a story or whatever, and it's like, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, it was there were some weird lows in King O, but
this is still like, I like it, but Boon Boonger was overall really consistent in its tone all the way through. I also really like how like the theme of like the putting your hand on the wheel and taking control of your own life was implemented into like the suits and everything else because they're cars, but also like the bad guy is the opposite. It's like, let me take control, let me do your thing. The best part about King Oger, like as a villain, was Rackles and his heel turn.
Oh yeah.
But it doesn't really feel like the bug theme ever really gets explored, other than like, these are royal family with bug motifs,
Yeah.
Which again,
for
still a beautiful season.
I just realized all 3 of my favorite seasons are vehicle themed.
You're just a car guy.
No, well, train guy.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, but yeah, like, okay, and for me, like, the one that's watched a lot more Sentai, like, especially like, pretty much everything from Kira Major on, like, oh well, yeah, okay, so I've basically been repeating this, so my review will be a lot shorter. Since Kira Major, Sentai has not missed. Yeah, so yeah, Zenkai, Don Bros, Kingo, Boon Boon, yeah, all 5 of those seasons have been great, and I'm just hoping Gojuger will do the same thing. But the 3 things that all 3 have in common, there is a shared a shared power up, so it's not just the red show, which is great.
Right.
Um, um, the villains are amazing and super well designed, which is what I love.
Well
And it has
designed and well written, well executed.
yep. And that's because when you watch Kira Major, just wait till you meet Yodona. Yodona,
Sure.
like the one that everyone thirsts for. You will see. It is hilarious when you meet Yodona.
Oh god, I'm
And,
gonna have to like
and
Google what she looks like now.
yeah, and they like her so much they actually gave her like a small like 3-episode miniseries.
Oh.
Yeah, that is how popular she was. But the other thing is that it has a 6 that I love. I love the 6 of all, or I just say extra ranger just in case there was like more than that. But
Unfortunately,
yeah,
our dreams were shafted
with Sakito a little bit. Yeah, I was basically like telling my friend like because
No,
Akira.
I was gonna say with Shirabe where we didn't get another
Oh yeah.
sixth
Mhm.
or an extra.
Yeah, but yeah, Sakito, Takemichi, and especially Akira from Tokyo, they were all amazing. Like the only reason why was it why Boon Boonger is now just taking second place against Kira Major and not even vying, like not even anywhere close to far and away Tokyo, is because unfortunately Sakito was very sidelined. I wouldn't say sidelined, but it's more like he wasn't able to like participate in the core team as much. He wasn't integrated because he was like so like aloof and separate because of the whole I don't know like Earth type of
And to be
thing.
fair, I by the end of the series, I kind of like it. I like that he decided he
Mhm.
was doing his own thing. I kind of liked his
Yeah.
vibe. I really like Sakito. If I
Mhm.
didn't like Mira as much, Sakito would have probably been my favorite. Uh,
Yeah.
this is kind of like it. I will say that's like the one difference between Kingo, where like as much as I loved Kingo Black, Jeremy showed up and dethroned him like almost immediately for me because I love Jeremy so much.
Yeah.
Sakito was close, but I really liked Mira. She was so cool.
Yeah. No, I think everyone loved both Mira and Joe. Like
Joe was
completely
great.
love those two.
I do really like
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, for me, like like far and away Tokyo, please watch Tokyo. But yeah, like solidly second place. It stuck that landing just perfectly. Oh man, like I said, my only downside with the episode with at least with the finale episode was just that the final fight didn't feel like a fight. It just felt more like a bookend because
Yeah,
yeah
a little bit, but I mean, hey, honestly, it still wasn't super like bad or anything. I
yeah
enjoyed it, and
yeah.
again, it was kind of because like we had the whole setup. It wasn't so much the fight; it was like the plan going through, and we had a bunch of it happen last episode. We just kind of needed the end of it this episode, and
Hmm.
overall, really good season. Can't wait to start with Gozuger because we have a very like different vibe and a different cast of characters.
Yeah.
Uh, so I'm really ready for that, and we will see
Ex-
Gozu Wolf next week.
Yep.
Later.
Later.
This program is brought to you by.
Our unending love of tokusatsu.
If you enjoyed the show, please be sure to like and subscribe.
And hit the bell for notifications. And if you would like to support us further, consider becoming a patron at our Patreon, Half Hour Henshin.
You can get some exclusive benefits, such as your name in the credits and joining our sticker club. Or, if you want to help with a one-time donation,
You can also find us at Ko-fi at Half Hour Henshin. You can email us with any questions or theories at halfhourhenshin@gmail.com or on Twitter at halfhourhenshin.